This is episode 125 of Different Shot Podcast with myself, Real Talk Greece, and I'm happy to say we are back as
Back
the original
again.
with the original gang and an addition. It's been a while since I've said this. To my right, the one, the only M2B.
Shoulder gang.
Boom,
Shoulder gang. Shoulder gang.
This ain't Domino's, you know.
No, by the way, calling you shoulder gang is
Shoulder gang.
hella. All I can hear now is, like the Wiz Khalifa song goes, Tater gang, Tater gang. Right?
Shoulder gang.
Mark, what are you saying?
Or lean
Shoulder
with it.
gang.
Shoulder gang.
Lean with it.
Shoulder for your fling.
I ain't leaning nothing.
I wasn't sure.
Oh my gosh,
Shoulder
what is
for your
that
fling.
one? Lean back. Can you do that
Click your
now?
thing. Click your thing.
I ain't doing nothing like that.
You know the one thing you can't do for the foreseeable future. Show the fear
Walk it
fling.
out.
You can't
Walk it out. Walk it out.
show the fear fling.
You done?
Wall on there. I'm joking. I'm sorry. How are you? It's great to see you, but how are you?
I'm alive. I'm kicking. It's not the shoulder.
The shoulder ain't got no kickback.
The shoulder just broke. I'm back.
To my left.
To the left, to the left. Oh.
To my left.
Concentrate, officer. Officer, pay attention.
Everybody, it's me. It's Mr. O.
This
I'm
guy,
back.
you're not listening to
I'm
instructions.
back from country. I'm back. Miss y'all.
Yeah, we heard you just doing conch, innit?
I was
Queer.
out in
What
them
the
streets.
hell?
I was out in country.
Doing what?
Taking selfies by Winful.
By mountains. By
What the hell
mountains
you
and
doing on
trees
mountains?
and nature.
What are you doing?
It was
Some
it
little
was supplying
spiritual
it was
retreat?
it was supplying the good stuff.
No.
Wow.
Okay.
Gangs
Okay,
of
your mouth
New
is-
York.
How do you miss your mouth?
This
Hey,
girl,
have my teeth.
this girl's about to knock herself out with a little jelly
You say
bean
you've got
sweet.
skills. Knacking your teeth.
Don't use teeth.
Knacking your teeth.
Don't use teeth.
You're meant to,
You're not
you're meant to use
knacking
your
your
teeth.
You're not meant to use your teeth, Kadia.
Oh, you nasty.
What? I didn't say that.
Bro, you
That's what
are
you
nasty.
said. Don't.
I bet Reese is looking at it. Yep, looking at his phone. He's
We
like,
have a-
I'm
we have
not involved.
We have a teaspoon
Like
stirrer here.
clockwork. Anytime this kind of subject comes on,
Okay. Next.
And to my left.
it's me, Kay. Hello. I'm here.
We know.
And a special guest.
I can't believe you're picking up. Sorry. Do you know what?
Shock you interrupt
Do you
someone.
know what?
Shock
I'm
you
not even
interrupt
going to do
someone.
that. I'm not even going to do
Something's
that right
never
now.
changed.
It's not your time.
But I can't believe you're picking on me. And
Katie, it's not your time.
No, it's all right. Go on.
And across from me, it's our special guest.
Chrissy.
Thank you very much. Let's do it in order. Mark, how are you?
I'm blessed. I want to say a big shout out to my friend, my homegirl that's on Celebrity Get Me Out of Here.
Is that what we're calling her?
Scarlett
Homegirl?
Douglas.
We're calling her your homegirl now.
She's my homegirl.
Okay, cool.
One does. One teaching Hancock how to dance.
That's the awesome.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I bet you did. I bet you did.
Oh.
And
I can feel it when you walk, even when you talk.
my boy Jimmy, who had a documentary on ITV2 about growing up in care, and he had a white adopted family. So I want to give him a big shout.
Is Jimmy the guy that plays my man?
What's
In
this
Bel-Air.
documentary?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
so.
What documentary is
It's
this?
called Handle with Care.
I was
A very
frustrated
good,
by White
a very
Family.
good documentary. So,
He
yeah, I wanna
wasn't
give him a
it?
shout.
Yeah, it was. That's why everyone's like, oh, you don't really sound like a normal black girl. I don't know what that means.
I don't know when people say that.
So, what is your experience? I'm gonna get to you lot. I've not forgotten you. What was the experience like actually being adopted by white people?
I wasn't adopted. I was fostered for a very long time. And it was actually quite dope because I was a bit spoiled. So
What area was that?
I grew up in West Sussex.
So you went from East to West Sussex.
Well, I was there from like when I was 3 months old until I was like nearly 8.
So you didn't. Oh, the culture clash when you came back.
I was struggling. I didn't know what was going on. I just heard bird noise and spice. I was like, what is this? Why is
Was you the only black person in the house?
I was the only black person in the village. Oh.
Tu, 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 tu.
In the school. Like, there was an incident where someone called me a nigger. My foster mum was white, and she weren't having none of it. The way she marched down to that school and got them kicked out was
Oh,
just,
so she was like the Sandra Bullock of
yeah,
that
bro.
film.
This one,
Oh,
she was
I
like,
love her.
listen, she like, do you know how deep she was, right?
You talking about The Blind Side?
Yeah.
Like,
I love
she
it.
did not like that is what she was like.
That's a
She
great reference, you know.
like she did
he
not
didn't even mean,
mess
he meant
around.
it so genuinely.
I'm back.
As well.
Like,
Oh, she was like this.
listen,
Say you're back.
when it
Yeah.
came to hair, she had the pink moisturizer. She
Oh,
had
raw.
listen.
Did she have Blue Magic?
She had the Blue Magic, the pink moisturizer. She also did my hair and extensions. There was one time I went back to my real parents' house. My mum must have relaxed my hair. I swear she must have called my dad and said, "What the like?" She went mad because my mum relaxed my hair because my hair was like big and that, oh, she went nuts. Even if I go back and I see her and I've got weave, she's like, "Take it out." She'll literally be like, "Why have you got that shit?"
I
in
like
your
that,
hair?"
you know.
She don't mess around.
Has she
had black
adopted
dollies, everything.
or fostered any other?
She fostered like 50 something kids. I was the
Wow.
last one that she fostered. And she had like bare black kids. Like she'll cuss me. She'll be like, "Oh, you don't want to go to Africa. You're always going." Like she's like literally. I think she went to the Caribbean once. She said, "Oh, there was this woman." She said that looked like me, and she said that it looked her really. She said, "Oh, you look like our daughter." Like she calls me her daughter, innit?
Yeah.
And they were like, "What?" And then one time I was out with my foster
I
dad.
look like who?
I was out with my foster
What
dad.
now?
And,
dear.
I was out with my foster dad, and we were at a restaurant, and we went to this Italian restaurant, like in Shoreham by Sea. This is like a proper white, like town. And we were sitting down, and he was like, "Oh, this is my long lost daughter." And obviously, my foster dad's like some tall white guy, bald head, like plays golf, drinks beer, whatever.
Are you saying he look like one of them National Front white men?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, okay, just asking.
Whatever. And then so when the guy looked at me, I said, "Oh, don't worry, I just got a bit of a tan on holiday." You know, this guy was completely baffled. And
A bit of a tan. you know.
God,
I said, "Oh, I just got a bit of a tan on holiday." The guy looked at
That
me.
is great
Then
racial
he
banter.
looked, and then he looked at my foster mum because she's like white, blonde hair. Looked at him, and you know he was trying to figure it all out. And
They
he-
thought you were a jacket.
without trying to be offensive.
They
at the
thought you was
same
a
time.
jacket. Yeah.
You know that meme where you see the guy doing the maths. It's like,
He's trying to maths. He's looking at himself.
A math work muffin, bro.
Yeah, it's nuts. I think it.
Would you actually? As we will start there because I know them two are fine. There's
Like
nothing
he was
other
doing
than
it.
Would you ever adopt? Like, say if you had kids or if you didn't have children, would you ever adopt?
you talking to me?
Well,
I
Katie,
would.
open their mouth first. We'll go with Katie.
He was looking in this direction, so I was just waiting for.
He wasn't actually, but yeah, carry on.
And wipe your lip.
You know what? No, yeah, it's true. You know what?
Why are you biting? Okay, then please.
The way the thing is lingering on the bottom of my face. Wipe your lip, bro. I'm sorry.
Hold on. First of all, why do you feel like it's been a while that you need to be a bitch?
Hold up.
Stop it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Stop it.
How?
Pow pow.
How,
Pow
Sway?
it.
Pow
How?
pow.
He's back.
In it.
He's
I
back.
told you I'm back.
But
Are
Wisdom, baby.
Reese was directing the question. He's
You
directing
drop
in
a
this
text.
direction.
them all.
So you stop
you going to
it.
answer the question?
You stop it.
Oh, you forgot it.
Shut up.
You forgot it.
Shut
The
up.
question was, would you adopt?
No.
No.
I knew what the question was, but I can't say yes and I can't say no. I wouldn't not. But I think because I really, really want children, and if that was a like out of the question, like gone for if
We
you
would have
can't
got.
have
We would have
them.
got to this part, but continue. It's fine.
Would you adopt?
Do you want me to
Of
finish?
course
or
I
what?
would.
Would you adopt?
Yeah.
I would
Whether I had
definitely
children or
adopt.
not, I'd still adopt. I
But
think
it's a proper long process as well.
It
Isn't it?
is.
It's like
My
you
auntie
have
did
to-
it.
You have to go through like loads of questions.
My
and
auntie did it.
people.
My auntie did it with my
Would you
cousin
adopt
Skylar.
Would you adopt a child who's not the same race as you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think if I was to adopt, I don't think I would even look at race, to be if I'm being brutally honest.
Question: Have you ever seen last season of Atlanta? Have you? Not series 5, series 4.
No.
Just quickly for reference. You know when you have the nannies, the Caribbean nannies who look after the white kids. It'll be like
That
that.
episode.
Yeah, it'll be like that.
Oh, okay.
True.
Where it's like you just kind of immersing people into another culture and got them talking about they want sour sap and I want this is the soda
Jug juice.
and jump up and down and want to go carnival and them thing there. But what about you?
I would. I definitely would. There wouldn't be anything to say I wouldn't. I've got a lot of love to give, haven't I?
You do.
That's a nice way of putting it because it's
Got a
true.
lot of
Like,
love to give.
but then if you, how old would you want them? Because if you had them at a really, say for example, they're under 3, they've not really been molded yet. Sounds really
I think
intense. But if someone's
I know
5,
what you mean.
they've probably experienced some level of trauma. That if they're being adopted, more than likely they're coming from a traumatic experience, right? So then you have to think you've got to support the child to overcome those barriers.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was someone who's a baby, I think I would be a bit more. But then again, obviously, there's older children that do need adopting.
That's the other
So
thing as well. 'Cause
it makes
a
you
lot of
think,
the older
well,
kids
yeah.
get kind of like pushes aside.
so. Then I was gonna say before we get to that point, my older brother is fostered. My older brother, when I was a kid, was my mum fostered my older brother, and my older brother taught me a lot about life that my mum and dad couldn't, or that other family members couldn't. And even though I think the age gap between me and my brother is 5 years. 5 years, and obviously my mum adopted him when I was 10, so he was already a teenager.
Yeah.
But we went to primary school together anyway, right? Yeah, so I knew his brothers. So his youngest brother was in my year, and his other brother was maybe the year below him. So even then, it was still ones where I'd grown up around him anyway because he was in the same primary school. But then he became my brother. I think the reason why I would personally adopt at all, whether I had a child or not, because ultimately, as O said, for example, you have, that's the word I really need to stop using, that you have a lot of love to give, and I believe that no matter what, when you have children, for example, whether people want their children or not, or they give them up for adoption, that child didn't ask to be here, and that child still deserves an equal shot at life, like everybody else deserves an equal shot of life. I feel like no matter what, like even regardless of how old the child is, molding or not, giving a child an opportunity to be in an environment where they can be the best version of themselves or reach a level that wasn't possible living in social housing, like a Tracy Beaker type house or whatever. Yeah, sorry to use that as a reference. Like a family taking you in, and they're gonna have their backup, but just taking them out of the environment they're used to and putting them in an environment that can better suit them is, for me, means more than anything else.
It's true. I was listening to but there was a podcast I was listening to. I can't remember this guy's name. I don't want to butcher his name, but it was on the Diary of CEO, and he was talking about childhood and what children need to develop. And they were talking about
the Asian
yeah.
He's oh my god, I listen to him all the time.
What's this? Hold on, because I've got it here.
Does
Because
he
I
talk
shared
about-
it with like a few people.
Is that where he's talking about his kids reading books, and when they get up in the morning?
No.
It's not. Is that same guy though?
No. Hold on. The name is
Spin through that quickly.
Comedian?
Gabor Mate.
Spin it. Let me see what it looks like.
G-A-B.
No, spin the phone and we'll see what it looks
sorry.
like.
I thought you said spell it.
Go on, spin. Yeah, because my eyesight
You
bounces
can't
off glass.
see what he looks like because it's not like.
He looks familiar, but I don't.
That's
I
not-
don't
that's
know.
That's
the
no, that's
guy.
Sean. That's he's on Dragons Den. That's the person who has Diary CEO.
But
was
Gabor
like, he
Mate,
looks
like
familiar.
he's written
Okay.
some really good books on like childhood and developing children. Because when you think about it, like it's developing children is like a whole science. Like there's an actual science behind it that you can ensure that your child has the best possible start. And even in this podcast, saying if you give the child the right support in the first 3 years, they're going to be okay. Like basically, if you attend to their emotional needs and give them all the support they need in the first 3 years, I thought it was like the first 7 years,
That's
but
first
they're
three.
saying the first 3
Set habits
years.
in the first 3 years. You're fine.
He said basically you're basically giving them the best possible start. I ain't working for 3 years if I have any kids.
I'll give an example of this year, like just to when we're talking about child development before we kind of get into the nitty gritty of this episode. So I was listening to something the other day about TikTok, and obviously TikTok is a Chinese-owned company, but there are blockers on TikTok in China. So the TikTok that is released to the rest of the world and the TikTok that they have is completely different.
It's completely different.
So then 13 and under, right, 13 and under, you get a TikTok which is an educational TikTok. Teach you how to bake, how to read, how to code, that's the TikTok you get.
Sorry.
Right, yeah? And then
Are you surprised?
the TikTok the rest of the world gets is the TikTok, the free-for-all, the silliness where everyone can use it. Obviously, everyone's like, it's not going to make a difference now, but in a generation, so like 50 to 60 plus years, how to be an astronaut, like... you know
World
what I'm
War
trying to say? Like,
Three is basically
so
TikTok.
he's trying to say, for
low-key.
example, in
We're
China,
gonna
for example...
obliterate your brain by the time you're 18.
One second, let me finish. So in China, for example, these people want to grow up to be astronauts, like jobs that matter.
Yeah.
Whereas when if you're looking at the American market, they don't want to have a job. They want to be influencers. So basically, you want to be famous for being famous sake, whereas other people are having skilled tasks that allows them to develop. And, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I said, it may not affect this generation now, but in the next generation, the generation after, you will see people mentally digress based on things that don't matter. Like, so one culture will be 10 times ahead or further down the line, and the other one will digress. So one will basically continue with intelligence, and the other one will basically become modern day Neanderthals.
It's basically psychological warfare.
Yeah.
Basically, you're saying, well, we're going to feed this group
Trump
over here with trash. But that's why I'm surprised they even allowed TikTok to carry on running in the States.
Surprised.
Trump said this from before.
Well, Trump don't count.
Trump is
He's
running again.
He tried to block it.
He's running again.
Yeah, no one could.
But
that's
the thing
true,
is as well,
because
but I don't.
When he tried to block it, everyone was like, "Wait, what are you doing?"
Because
it
it's
seemed
people's
like
revenues,
some
yeah.
random
Attack
on basically an app that everyone used. So everyone was like, "Oh well, why would you?"
Listen, I think
Raw.
if you're already thinking about when everyone's like, "Oh, what does World War III look like?" It looks like what we're in right now. It's not what we associate as war right now. World War III is using technology. Technology is the best weapon that you can use against any community that has ever existed. You've got people addicted to stuff. You've got people addicted to porn. You've got people addicted to scrolling. You've got people, just the way that people communicate across.
What's it called? The endorphin that comes across when
it's
you
basically
scroll?
they use the same theory behind gambling. What they use in Las Vegas on the scrolling machines is the same concept they use behind any social media platform. The constant scrolling is like, this is just psychological warfare. That's why most of these tools. Why do you think that people in tech companies do not allow their children to use the tools?
Facts.
You know, I found out that casinos in Vegas don't have clocks on all.
Of course.
That's fucked.
That's how people can't.
Do you know how
You ain't going nowhere.
that
You are
shit
staying in the
is-
building.
That's how people can.
That's
get
why I
fat.
give you a
Windows and
buffet.
you can't- Yo.
That's why you get fat.
That's
Raw.
Because they're meant to say
We were
time-
on this
time
journey
don't-
and the
time
youth
don't
went,
exist.
The views of Chrissy's alone.
That's how you get fat.
How dare you put me in the mud?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm
It's
playing,
just
I'm playing. But no.
buffet food isn't great, you know.
But Mark, kick us off as you've got something open.
Pregnant women to be offered free vapes by Lambeth Council.
What?
Lambeth Council.
What?
Yeah.
Allow me.
Wait. Mark, read the caption under, please, before I even get...
It's something to reduce them
What, you mean,
addiction.
Mark, you mean
It's something to reduce
Lambeth
addiction. You need to
is
put it in
South London?
context. You're not explaining it properly.
Wait, time out. Chrissy, 1 second. Mark, finish the caption before I write off Nigel Powers.
There's a theory behind it. It's not as simple as that. It's something
That's why I
behind
said I need the
it.
caption. Continue.
It's something to do with addiction.
It's something to do with addiction, something to do with stress.
Yeah.
That's all I've got here.
Yeah.
But
I'm sick of tired of seeing people with
it's,
vapes, but continue.
it's just weird. I don't think that's no.
Is it like a nicotine thing?
No. Because vapes is not nicotine.
Is there a caption to that, or is it just...
No, it's not.
I've
there.
seen it. I'm sure I read it somewhere, but it's something to do with addiction and something to do with stress. I don't understand how they could teach them how to meditate, and there's various other natural things that you could do apart from vaping. When people actually don't know the long-term effects of vaping on their lungs, because I don't know. Look, how long does it take for them to realize cigarettes were causing cancer?
People used to tell you milk was good for you.
I would just be vomiting. I don't need to drink more.
The worst thing,
I'm African.
The worst thing about it is, I remember, like, I think it was my cousin ages ago, and he was like to me, vaping is safer than cigarettes. I said no, because cigarettes has been regulated. Vape hasn't been regulated.
Yeah.
And it goes naturally with a cigarette. You light up a cigarette, boom, cool. You light up another one, you leave it, you light up another one. Because vaping is easy, much more accessible, because you can do it inside buildings in certain places. You're just
For
constantly
now.
going. Yeah, that's it for now. Right? Yeah, you're constantly going back to a point where you're, damaging your lung. Was it not about a month ago where some girl's lung, collapsed?
From vaping.
A vape, and then even when you open that stupid vape thing, it's like an electric. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Isn't I'm sure. I remember once when I worked in Brick Lane, I met a guy who made the flavours for
Vapes.
the vapes.
The slim
It
ones
was
or
like,
the new
I
one?
swear it was lubricant or something.
Word?
Like I'm sure it's like lubricant.
Brick Lane is East London. You don't really know what them.
But I
people
might
are
be
about,
wrong.
yeah.
Don't quote me on
Shut
that. Because I'm like, yo, it's a liquid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it must be some sort of lubricant because it's thick. I don't know because I don't smoke it, but
don't know.
the way the guy was explaining to me,
You two are children. You two are children. It must be some type of lubricant because it's thick. And then them two started laughing. I said, you two are children.
they just nasty.
Just turned my head a little bit. Like,
Gotta be thick.
I try. Okay,
Oh my God.
Did you say that you try to be thick?
He said, you got to that try.
He said he's
so
a
it's not
try.
easy.
I try.
You better change that diet of yours out here, son.
I got that water. Remember?
Yo.
Anyone seen the whole thing about the council tax? No. To go up again.
How much?
Well, they're saying
What's
the
the
average
percent?
will be 2K for average household.
For the year?
Yeah.
Jesus. Technically will.
Rishi.
Mama. I sound like amigos. Yeah. Mama, Rishi. This guy's dumb.
Message.
Yo. These are trying to
What?
obliterate everyone. You know, everyone's like, Christmas is cancelled this year. Have you seen Iceland have managed to do like a whole Christmas dinner for under 20 quid? I don't know if it's going to taste
Who?
good, but Iceland.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Tesco's put up their meal deal.
I saw that. £5.
To what? What?
Make your own bloody sandwich.
To... Huh?
So it went to 350 and it's gone to £5.
I saw
£3.50?
It's gone to £5.
If
sure
it
it
went
said
to £3.50?
No, I think it's like,
Where
you know
was
when you
that?
get the extra thick sandwich,
it went
not
to
the little,
350.
you know, you get
Are you
the...
joking?
You're back on the thick
problem I
ones
have.
There's too much
That's
conversation.
Yeah.
There's too much conversation
Sorry.
all the time. Sorry.
Sorry, what? Hold on, you're like going to... It went to £3.50 even before that.
It went to it went from £3 to 350.
It went to
I've always thought it was £3.
Yeah, it went to
Unless
350.
you got a Tesco's club. Well, I
I got a club
reasons.
card.
No. Do you know what? I
Yeah, you
haven't bought a
used
meal
mine.
deal in probably about a year. But wow, it went to £3.50. Now, yeah, goodbye. £5. £5.
Well, do you know what I'm really upset about? I was there, I went to this sweet shop.
You're dumb. One second.
The sweet
Just
shop.
1 second. You are dumb. I can't believe only three of us in this room understand that reference. You are dumb. £5.
And the
Curry
Walker's
got
crisp has gone
rice.
up to £1.25.
Oh, that
What's gone up to
bit.
£1.25?
The Walker's crisp. I was really upset.
Is that the grabber bag, the big
Yeah.
bag?
£1.25.
These are now like £1.09 or £1.92.
I looked at this. I said,
Chocolate is
No,
£1.
it's not even that. Have you not seen the Freddo bar?
the what?
Freddo bar is 35p, bro.
It's a 5p chocolate, bro.
No, it's 95. No, wait, it's 95p.
Fredo will never get money from me again.
Fredo
No,
is
it's n-
95p.
I'm
Freddo?
sure it's 95p.
That used to be 10p.
The little bar.
It was 5.
The thing that was,
Used
it
to be 5p.
started off
Is
at
that
5p.
is that like Chomp?
Then it went to...
Yeah, it's on that level of
Smaller.
It's like
smaller
a mini
A
like
quarter
dairy
of a
milk. Like
Yeah,
milk
yeah.
chocolate in it. 5p. 10.
Like 2 clicks of a dairy
15.
milk. Click.
25. And then I think you went to 25 to 35. I don't know if it's true that it's 95p
You better do
or
your
85 or something, but I saw a meme
Nah.
with it the other day.
If that's gone to 95p, the only
And
Fredo
someone
I'm
put
fucking with is a
something
rapper. Because you're out of your mind if
only
that's the case.
We would understand.
Like,
We
with
refer
Panda
to
Pops.
inflation. I'm gonna find it.
No.
Panda
I'm gonna
Pops,
find it.
Fredos,
I love Panda Pop.
them blackjack sweets,
Fruit salad.
fruit salads.
Fruit salads are the one.
They're addictive, man.
Trust
Especially the little chumpy.
O to bring out fruit salads. Shock.
Wow.
Why?
You're a creep. You're on camera. Don't do that.
Who, me?
No, O.
Well, he writes a break book, so obviously his fruit salads are reference going to be different to us, isn't it?
That's what we meant by trust him to bring out salads.
Nasty boy.
But
Are
what's
you
your-
embarrassed with
what's your top lip,
this
bruv?
thing?
Yeah, I do, but sometimes it's fine.
Nigerian party tricks.
I said party tricks. Mad. Absolute I'm flabbergasted. Whatever question was about to be asked, ask it. Oh,
Tricks have you got?
I don't need to know that. But
I'm not asking him like that.
Jesus. Gosh.
Guys, have you
oh, my leg hurts.
have any of you had any
Absolutely not.
mad run-ins with Twitter ever since Elon's taken over?
Nope.
Oh yeah, I keep getting added by flipping bots, bro.
Or I keep having ads on my tweets.
Not bots, but just like
Or bots, whatever they are.
I
Well,
get
it's
yeah,
probably
a lot of OnlyFans people.
Yeah,
So-
OnlyFans.
bots.
Yeah,
No,
a lot
not
of
them. I just get random
Every
shit.
day.
Yeah, they're not real. They're just
They're bots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only
Every
friends.
damn day.
Only friends, yeah?
Only friends.
What's friends?
We're only friends.
Why have you added letters to friends?
Friends. What is that?
Only friends. I want an only friends account. No, I'm joking.
What, show your feet?
No, I was just.
Are you nuts? My feet are butters.
Oh, wow.
I ain't making no money off my fucking feet.
Woo!
Okay.
Even the China lady be looking like, yo, are you okay there?
Ketchup, peanut butter, you're golden.
That's gross.
This is what the people.
What is your daughter?
This is
What
what
would
the
you, no,
people
but
want.
people make so. I'm not gonna lie.
I
People make so
literally
much
know
money
this.
off OnlyFans.
Jay Huss's babes.
Some people.
Jay Huss's babes made like 10 bags off her feet pictures.
Bruv. That's a deposit.
What's that? Oh, what's
Well, a little bit of
I
a
was gonna
deposit
say
outside
old.
London. Probably not inside
What's
London.
the actress?
The 63-year-old lady.
Cornell,
comedian.
she's an old black actress.
She's a
Oh,
comedian.
that narrows it down.
Who? What movie is she in? And I can help you.
Oh my god.
63-year-old actress.
She got some big old bitties.
Hey. Hey.
Just swanging.
And she's got silver hair. You know.
Yeah,
like-
she's got silver
You know
hair.
who she is? She's one of them.
she's
Where, you
got
know, like
silver
when
hair.
you know, like when you got the old auntie, she's got a big boob. She starts hugging you. You're like, bruv, you're gonna suffocate me out here.
What are you fucking for?
You know,
I ain't
you've
got
always
no auntie like that. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's it.
What?
I found it finally.
Cooking would fill up my mouth from laughing at my brother.
Someone's got to have one of those aunties
No,
with big old
bruv.
boobs.
No, that's an American one.
I just got aunties. I just got aunties with butter churning arms, bruv.
Oh, jeez.
This guy's
The
so
porridge
Auntie
arms.
cooks
You know,
good. Auntie
yeah.
cooks good, she
Well,
does
you
that.
know the full arm could churn more than butter, bruv.
I found the meme, yeah.
Wait, I know who you're talking about. I don't know her
talk to me.
name.
I really found it.
She's like,
Oh, you feel like a lemon, innit? You feel what?
No,
You're
don't
gonna
be
be none of
She
you.
was at the right place. Oh, have you found it? I was like, yeah, I found it. Yeah.
To the ladies in the house.
Why
Could
did
you ask it?
that sound like a Beyonce song? The beginning of Me, Myself, and
I
I.
can't.
To the ladies in the house.
to the lady.
Could you possibly answer me this? And I apologize in advance
Riddle me this.
if this is ladies' business.
Yeah,
It's
go.
ladies' business if you're asking this question. But
What's
continue.
it with the pose and you cut one titty?
What?
You cup.
Cup it.
Like that.
Who does that?
No, I had
it's
to think about it.
It's a really common pose. I've seen it. It's like
How do
that
you
one
do
and
it?
leaning on your heels, or the one where you're reaching for the
Is
camera.
it like them stupid? Yeah.
it's in
goodbye.
it's in the
I don't know
category
about
of
Can
that.
someone explain it to me?
No, I don't even know. I still don't know about what that
My
was
waist,
about.
the one I hate is when
Or
girls
what
walking
this one's about. Oh, I can't even do
with
it.
a hand out,
When
like
you-
you're reaching for your hands.
No, it's the
It's the one when people are
It's
walking.
one like someone's taken a picture behind you and you've got the hand. Like
Oh,
you've
it
got a
started.
picture-
It was. I think it
a
started
picture
from the
of someone's-
holiday.
Someone's back behind, and then the other person's doing this, like they're holding hands, but you show from two different angles. I don't know why people do
No,
that.
the worst one is when the people's walking. You put the camera up and they act like they didn't know they were being filmed. Stop it, bruv.
Wait, what?
You know you're taking a video, but you're trying to pretend like you don't know you're being
When you go-
recorded.
Oh, when you go, oh, what? When you. No.
I don't
someone's
understand. So the woman's got the cup in sorry, not-
Cup in her breast, bro.
cup in her hands.
What she did? She.
No,
like
she's not
this?
trying to.
She's cupping her breast.
She's not trying to give you water.
Oh,
She's
doing
cupping her
that?
breast.
Like, I just need to know.
Yeah, like that.
Oh my Lord.
Like literally taking a picture.
Yeah.
That's really random. Oh, her name is Linnell Stark.
The poses these
Never
days
heard
are
of her.
really different. Do you remember back in the day when they
You
just
only
used to
see
be
it.
this?
If Google it.
Do you remember this?
Just turn your phone. I can see it from here.
Wait, hold on.
Remember
let me-
this?
Only girl that'll tell me
Yes.
her name and I can't see the face. Her name is Linnell Starks. Okay, show me the face.
No, because that's it's just hold on.
Hey, Motley, you're right over there.
There it is. Now you understand what I mean.
Oh, wait a
She's got OnlyFans.
Oh, her.
Yeah.
Bruv, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Listen,
Safe.
someone is
No.
gonna
Comedian.
be
Nope.
someone like.
Oh hell no.
Absolutely not. Nope. I'm not body shaming, but
Has she got OnlyFans?
Yeah.
I'm not body shaming,
I'm
but
still wondering
There's
about
a
the
market
breast
for
fat.
everybody.
I agree to that.
let me
There's a
finish-
market for
Let me finish this
everybody.
statement.
Oh,
Let me finish the statement. I'm not body shaming, but
isn't she in?
for shame.
Yeah, she's got
But
OnlyFans.
on that, is body shame only one way?
No.
No.
As in like
People who are slim get body
no.
shamed.
As in like
You can't body
I've
shame
seen a
women.
lot of body shaming for men, and that gets like just put underneath the
No,
carpet.
people do body shame
What
man.
you mean? Is it seen as bad as if a man body shames a woman?
But men body
If we
shame men
body-
as well.
Yeah, Everyone body shames.
true.
Men body shame men a lot.
Body shame a man
Especially a
that's probably not
guy
in the
who
gym
is
doing-
like, okay,
I can't I don't body shame women. I just mind my business. With men, boy, you're gonna hold the
See?
smoke.
You got,
see?
there you
gonna catch
go.
these
You've
bullets.
got the culprit. We now have evidence.
I
Hey,
don't body shame women. Because it's not my market. None of my business.
Not your market.
Apparently, there's a trend of men borrowing each other's watches to go on dates. So
I saw this.
obviously-
The guy lost his Rolex.
That makes sense.
You saw it, innit? The guy lost my Rolex.
I mean, if
You know?
if I was a boy and I wanted to impress a girl, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't be doing
with
that.
their watch.
A watch.
Not for watch.
I don't
Look at my
think.
timepiece.
I don't know.
What time is it?
The
Off that?
Audemars.
I can't tell the time.
The
I don't
volley.
think you should. If you're trying to date a woman that's of that caliber and you're not, then just don't do it. You don't need to
But that's
pretend
easier
to
said
be-
than done because
Yeah, but
What?
why would you pretend
some
to
of
be
these
something
men
you're not?
want to try and get with these women.
You're not
Yeah,
trying to
what if you're
cuff
with
them.
her
They're
within
not
that?
trying to cuff them though. They just want to
Well,
know.
if you just
Hold
wanna-
on,
if you
wait,
just wanna show face for, like, one
rewind.
date, one
I'm
beat, that's
confused.
fine.
What? Start again? What did you say? If the what?
What did I say?
She don't even
I
know
don't
what she
even know
said.
what I said. Which part? Sorry, which part?
About the watch.
Every part.
So the watch. If you're
If
going
a
on a
man-
date,
if a man borrows his friend's watch
okay.
and goes on a date,
But girls borrow girls' clothes all the time.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
No, it's
It's not the
not.
same thing.
But I
Boots,
think
shoes,
it's,
everything.
Do you know what
Yeah,
it is?
and
It's
especially
for-
bags.
It's
Like
cheap,
girls,
though.
there's
But
a whole
wom-
market
but
of
women's
girls
stuff is
renting
cheap.
Chanel bags.
But women's stuff is cheap. That's why.
What Chanel
Maybe,
bag?
I
No,
think
we're not
it's
talking about
for
accessories,
image.
we're
I
talking
think
about-
it's for
yeah.
image. Obviously, no, you're not
Look,
gonna
let's
go
just
and
be
pretend
real.
you have
As
this
a female,
watch.
I can go put lashes on. I can put weave on. Do you know what? I can do I can beat my whole face out. But for a guy, there's not really much he can
life.
do. If he ain't that cute, he's gonna have to put a watch in his wrist. So
Wrong,
rather
wrong,
than just
wrong,
Why?
wrong,
Women notice
wrong,
things. We love
notice
wrong.
trim.
No.
We like
no.
fresh
Oh, that
trim.
barbershop
Wrong,
smell.
wrong,
No,
wrong.
barbershops.
An
When they
ugly
come out the
man,
barbershop and they've got
an
that
ugly
smell, I don't
man
even know
can
what-
But when
still
they got
get a
the
good
hair
looking
skin hanging
woman.
off their skin.
No, it's the
darling.
smell that they use. There's a smell.
KDR,
Oh,
Chrissy,
I know what you're talking about. The
or
women
K and
that-
K.
Yeah,
Yeah, an ugly man
Oh,
can.
you spelled it in
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah, an ugly man can still get a good looking woman. It doesn't work the other way around.
What, an ugly girl can't get a good looking guy?
Ugly. I don't like to use
Men
the word
are-
ugly, but
Most
maybe less
men,
fortunate
most
than
men are aesthetics based. Women go by of energy and emotion. It's completely different. I'm not saying there's not exceptions to the rules, but that's just how it
100%,
works.
no, completely.
A man, even without a rollie, I see bare short. What do you call them?
stocky.
No, what do they call
say
them?
something
Short
else. I don't
gods
care.
or short kings.
Short
I see bare short
kings.
kings. Yeah.
What do you define as a short king?
Because they're short
They're
kings.
short.
What's a short king? 5'5".
So what you can really call them is
That's not short.
to be respectful.
5'5".
Or
That's
maybe
short.
maybe for women to look. Yeah, because I want to date him. God, that's 5'5".
Wait a minute. See what I mean? That's not short. I mean,
Look,
one
we're
day,
now-
guys,
No, but that's
5'5".
my height. And if I'm in heels, it's nice Smith.
I love when
Listen,
women say
if
we're
my
But
not
man-
real.
I don't really.
Like that's your natural height.
Can I ask you a question? You see, if you weren't,
What, my
see if you didn't have a
in-laws?
babes, yeah, right, yeah, and you was approached by someone, and the energy was right, and the only thing against him
No,
was
then
the
I
fact
wouldn't. I wouldn't be highest. No. If the energy was right, I would go for it. I say this to my friends though.
Nice.
No, I don't, because I say it to my friends. I say the same thing. I'm like, so you mean to tell me if the only difference was that the man was short and everything was perfect, you're gonna say no? And
Violation.
they're like,
Well, I tell you all the time.
me
blame-
personally, because I know the kind of person I am, and I'm more energy and vibes anyway, I probably wouldn't.
I come across bare
I don't know
spam
if
face
you're telling
moving
the
girl. You
truth,
gotta understand your
though.
forehead's big because of your
I don't
genetics.
know if
You
you
just
be
have to
telling the
accept it.
truth. I feel like you be lying a little bit, just a little bit.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well,
You're not dating a
no.
5'5" man, bro.
Listen,
You're
this
loyal.
guy, you
Wait,
just
what?
tell
What
this
man?
guy,
You wouldn't
go
date a 5'5"
away.
man, even if you,
5'5".
yeah, if you're the last man on the planet,
One of my exes
and everything was right.
5'6".
Ooh, an extra inch.
But that, to me, that was short.
Mark.
But I was like, I think it's cute.
Mark, I'm never looking at you. Stop it.
Well, I don't really
You
know
wouldn't do
about
it.
height.
You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it.
Do you know
No,
what? My
I
dad,
would.
listen, my mum was taller than my dad, didn't it?
I don't think there's
One time my mum
anything-
just straight told my dad, just shut up, you little short man. I was
We
just
would
like,
have to
talking
have,
with
we would
this
have to
him.
have a connection.
Bless
though.
her.
Obviously,
But I
I
thought
have a
it's
preference,
funny.
though.
Can't talk about that.
But
I
my
do have a
dad's
preference.
my dad's, you know, he's a friendly guy.
No, I do have a preference, but
So you're telling me you wouldn't date Short King? Just saying that.
I know people who date short guys. I don't understand
I
what
have
you're
dated
doing.
saying
short guys, and that's
you.
why I can't say
No,
I
we're
wouldn't.
saying-
I
Me,
have.
yes. I've
I
dated guys who are 6 foot plus. I've dated guys.
Same.
I hate seeing extremely tall guys with really, really short girls. It looks weird.
I've dated guys who are 6 foot plus. I've dated guys who are like
My
a bit
uncle
taller
and
than
aunt
me,
are
but I've never
extremely-
dated
But
a
they go
guy
together like bread and butter.
who's shorter than me. And I don't know if I would feel like, I don't know how I would feel. I would feel a bit, because plus some of my
But
friends.
that's social structure. That's the society. It's just
But it depends
society
on his,
structure.
like, on the individual. Like, is he a cool guy? Is he funny? Da, 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 da.
It's the variables away
Yeah,
from his
there's
height.
very, very variables. when we're laying it down, it don't make no difference.
I heard it does, you know.
That's such a start. No, that's such a Kieran line, bruv.
I heard.
Kieran says it all the time.
I would have thought.
I said to Kieran all the time.
When you're laying down.
I said to Kieran all the time. If Kieran was taller when he was younger, I stood no chance. Being around Kieran, I stood no chance. I heard what he said. I ignored him.
What? When you're laying down?
Yeah. I heard him. I tried to use the Kieran get out, and
What did I say?
And you had to bring it up. I don't know why you did that. He's like, I heard you.
But on a real, if he's that, like, so you know what? Listen, there's guys out here that are getting gal when they're short.
But
So
would you date a girl
They
taller
got-
than you?
I've got short male friends
Yeah.
that get girls. It's fine.
Mark, would you date a girl
Yep.
taller than you?
I have.
I
So
have.
why?
I have.
all girls who are taller,
Yes.
like if no, but I know I've got friends
I'm
that
a
are really
A lot
tall.
of girls that
Young
are
Wonder
taller,
Woman.
like one of my tall friends, she won't date anyone that's shorter than her.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah, I've
friends
heard
like
that.
that.
Babe,
as
you
well.
don't live in America, so you're pretty much stuck.
No, but
Because the
that's
average
fine.
No,
height
they
is
meet
5'9".
guys that they meet guys who are tall. Like I've
it's
got a
just-
friend and she's very tall. I don't know how she's tall. Like with
very-
heels,
what's
she's only
very
6
tall?
foot.
What's very tall to you?
Like she's 6 foot with heels.
That's not very tall.
With heels.
That's not very tall.
But
We're talking about her height,
no, but
not
she's
her
like
heels.
she must be like 5'11".
These
So
days,
she's
I
my
play
height.
with
She's not
heels.
very
I don't
tall.
even wear heels
Which
that often
I don't know,
anymore,
but
so
she's
it
tall.
doesn't
I
bother me.
feel small next to her because she's way taller than me.
No, I feel taller than my brethren who are 6'6".
She can slap
That's
the backboard, but she can't dunk.
facts.
What?
I feel short against all of you lot.
That's really just.
How tall are you?
It's such a. That explains height. It's such a. No, Mark. No,
But
no.
most of these
Mark,
things are
Mark
like
is-
superficial anyway. Like when it comes down to it, like in a relationship,
But that's the point I'm trying to say.
It's
a
just
lot,
like-
a lot of this stuff is superficial
Yeah, this
because
is
you're,
long.
you're ousting happiness based on
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't. I wouldn't like.
it's society.
like
but
seriously, I
Bow Wow
want someone
dated-
who I can just be on the gram, be showing it up, be like, oh my
When
gosh, he's
Bow Wow
6
was
foot,
dating-
he
when
has
Bow
a
Wow was-
rolly.
I
Like
don't
who gives
want
a
that. I
fuck?
want someone
He's
that's
beating
gonna-
your
I
ass.
know. Understand? Right.
He's
When-
terrorizing
Oh.
you.
when
I
Bow
want
Wow
He's
someone
there at
that's
your
gonna
house
understand
terrorizing
with
you,
me,
and you're telling everyone,
Gel
oh.
with me, look after me, love me. I don't care when it comes down to all
when
that.
Bow Wow was dating Sierra, Bow Wow was what 5'6", Sierra's like what
Forgot about
5'8".
them too.
Yeah.
What, yeah. So ultimately, I think what it is, I think people care more about what their friends will say about their partner than anything else. But I think I know it's a double negative, yeah. But I think it's like if the height thing for women is like the equivalent of a man dating a girl, and if one of their friends has dealt with her before, I think maybe that's the equivalent. I don't
Like,
think
what's
it's
her
the
body
same,
count?
but I think maybe it's. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
That's a sad
Yeah, but
equivalent as well.
It's a what?
That's a sad equivalent.
What the equivalent to that is if like how you guys feel about
Body count.
No, it's not.
No,
For me, it's not
if-
body count. If your
No,
friend has,
it's
if your
your
friend has,
or someone you know has dealt with this girl that you're seeing, is the equivalent to how we feel about height.
Okay.
Maybe the majority.
That's just
I don't know.
weird two things.
it's a weird two things.
It's
but
a
that's
weird
what-
two things.
It's
but
the,
it's
it's
not-
the,
But
it's
it
the-
I
is-
see,
it
I
is
see
a-
your
it's the-
point. I see your
yeah.
I
point.
get what you mean for how serious that is
it's
for you
unwavering.
lot.
It's
That's how serious
unwavering.
to us
I think
lot,
for
but-
people, you see, for men, like something that's unwavering for certain people. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what's unwavering for us. Because everyone's like, oh yeah, body count. I said for me, it's never about the body count per situation. I just would never want to date someone
Who's been with
who's
someone
been
that
with
I know.
someone that I know,
Exactly. It doesn't
or
make
Like
or
how
that's in my
Are you
collective.
serious? That
What do you mean how well?
Like, do you just know them in a passing, or do you know?
I don't want to know you. I don't want to know you've had sex with anyone that I know at all.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I
wouldn't
think
know.
men them can be spiteful, and they'll be the first one to be like, "Oh yeah, when your girl was
even
yeah,
if men
I'll have to
ain't
fist fight you."
spiteful, it's just the fact of knowing.
Yeah.
Like, as a guy,
Even as a
guy,
female,
don't
I
think-
don't want to
no.
date a
It's-
guy who slept with one of my Nah,
yeah.
No,
silence.
sorry.
People would say it's fragile ego, and I said that's fine.
Plus,
But there's a
that's
lot
all
of things
part
that
of girl
women
code as
there's a lot
well.
of things that women stand by that is based on fragile ego. I'm allowed to have one thing. If I'm emotionally mature and everything else, I'm allowed to have one thing that is my non-negotiable.
That's
Everyone
fair.
is though.
I think that's a reasonable observation.
Everyone.
I don't think I would want to date a guy who I know slept with one of my friends. No.
I don't even want to date a guy.
That's
that
just
I-
gonna
yeah,
be
no,
weird.
It's
So I had to be
Then
like,
when
did
that
he do
person
that
comes
move on
around,
you,
it's
bro?
just
Mad.
yeah,
Nah, that's
Katie,
long.
why did you do this?
She was just giving
Why
me
did you
like,
do this?
She was like, did he do this?
No, I was doing. I
No,
felt
that looked
like
like you did the
I don't think I meant.
clench.
do this?
Like, gave you the
I don't
clench.
think I meant in a specific way. I think I was just.
Remember Claw from Inspector Gadget? That's what she did. The clench.
I don't think I meant it in a specific way. I was just doing
Oi,
arm
hol-
movements. But
oi.
no, I wouldn't. Sorry.
Wait, hollow gap. You want to calm down, bruv?
Do you need some water?
No,
Water?
Yeah, clear your
Would
throat.
you like some water?
You said you've got good throat.
What?
Hey, yo.
Why would you
His
say
words,
that
not
to
mine.
him? That is so gross.
I didn't say that to him. He said that to me.
You repeated it out loud. I feel
Yeah,
violated.
because
I'm
I repeated it
traumatized.
for the room to hear because I just wanted to clarify.
Moving on, did you not know that a judge overturned the Georgia
loves
ban
it.
on an abortion?
Overturned it.
Yeah, in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, a judge has
Georgia?
overturned the ban on abortion that took effect earlier this year. A judge has overturned it in Georgia. But that's remember, because it was the South as a whole, I think, had the thing about women and abortion.
Yeah.
So I think for the state of Georgia, it's been overturned.
For a judge to come out and overturn it, that is massive, because that will literally start a domino effect of states that will start to do exactly the same
But do you
thing.
think, is that, I agree with you, but I also think that's wishful thinking, because these people had time and a lot of people said no, but they still chose to make the choice for women.
I'm not laughing.
I like how we've made the choice for women. Like, we have made the choice for women. That in itself is a ridiculous statement.
That's the point.
Men, like, we have made the choice. Like, men,
for women.
We don't even fully understand, like, most people don't even understand how the female body works. Men love to be telling women, oh, no, you don't know what it's like to have a period. You don't know jack shit. But you want to tell people, oh, you can't have an abortion. The whole thing is ludicrous. It's actually ridiculous. If you're raped, you have and someone rapes you, and you don't want a kid, you got to keep it. What if you're at risk? Like, you're at risk. Like, you can die if you carry that child to term. Oh, you got to keep, like, that whole logic of men saying to a woman, oh, you can't have that, you have to have that child regardless, but yet you can't even comprehend on a small amount of what that woman's body goes through, but yet you're telling us how to police our body. Sit down and shut the fuck up.
I'll be honest, that wasn't
on a real, like, who are you?
See, when this happened the first time, that wasn't what rattled me, because ultimately you understand what America stands for, what it represents, ECT and the rest. That wasn't what rattled me. When this was happening before and people were campaigning, there were a lot of women outside campaigning for, no, this should be true, they should abolish abortions, women should carry. And I was thinking, why are you making the decision for other women?
For other people.
Listen,
I don't understand how this is even like a thing where
It
should be,
other women shouldn't make
their choice.
Yeah, other women shouldn't make the choice for other women.
I'm with Mark.
No, it defeats the point. Defeats the point of us having what we speak about all the time or often. Our body, our choice. That defeats the whole point, because whether it's
obviously it's not. It's the government's choice.
This is what I'm saying.
Like, the government's choice is that you have to have a child.
Are you really gonna sit there and tell me that I can't like have an abortion for the sheer fact that it could be causing me serious health? It could be dangerous to me if I do get pregnant and have a child or whatever.
Do you know what makes me even more angry?
There's so many variables than just getting rid of a baby because you don't want it. There's more than that.
Do you know what makes me so angry in the States? They don't give women maternity leave. They don't pay them, like, they barely give women anything when they have children. And then the thing is, like, people fail to understand that some men will literally make women have children to control them. Like, and I was watching this random documentary on Netflix, and it was about the fundamentalist Latter-day Saints, and it was just like some extreme version of Latter-day Saints. And then they were talking about, these old men would, like, take the young kids and impregnate them. And they were basically saying the women who were the most independent, they would be the ones, the girls, not even women, because they were girls, because they were under 16. So they're like 14, 13. They were saying the girls who were most independent, they would use the notion of getting them pregnant to silence them. Like, that's how some people view women's bodies, like, as a way to control them. If we give you a child, if you're an independent woman and a man wants to control you and he can't think of any other way, in this particular organization, they were basically saying, oh, we're going to make her pregnant with someone's child in order to reduce her, just to control her. Mm-hmm. It's an easy way to control someone. So if you're saying to someone, and she's in a domestic violence, like, this is how I know people don't think. And so many laws and so many things are created, and it's always done for, like, a particular demographic, normally middle-class white women who have, like, come from a privileged background. They don't really think of anything outside of themselves. I'm really sorry, but that's normally how laws are made within healthcare. So when it comes down to how everybody else lives, it never makes any sense. You're not thinking about women who are in poverty. You're not thinking about women who experience domestic violence. You're not thinking about women who are coming to have a child who's pregnant and the child's ill. They're just thinking about, oh, it's a healthy baby. You're thinking of the best case scenario. They're rarely considering the worst case scenario. Yeah. That's why it's easy for them to pass these stupid laws. And then they have people just advocate. Oh, it just frustrates me. Because there's no one's thinking, everyone's thinking about themselves. Only until it affects them directly, then they want to start advocating for the law the other way round.
Do you think that literally we come to the point where in life now, when it comes to government and stuff like that, where they're actually policing human beings now?
Of course. And the maddest thing is, most people fail to understand the West in itself don't have enough people giving birth. And it's in my head, and I completely could be wrong, and I don't care if anyone wants to say otherwise. In America, people are not having enough kids. And the way that we think that governments think is that each individual person that's sitting right here in this room is worth pound sign to a government. We pay taxes, we go through the education system. Someone is at every point in our lives is making money off us. From when we give birth to when we go to nursery, when we're at secondary school, primary school, university, when we work, we're making the government money off the bat. So when women start having abortions, they're thinking that's money coming out of the economy.
It's a good way to look at it.
That is money coming out of the economy. So every time, if that basically means we're killing maybe 500,000 people every year. That's not going into the chain of the supply chain of how society lives.
Even in prison,
in prison,
it's a business, isn't it?
Exactly. So every time they're saying to people, "Oh, you can't have kids," regardless of what they're never going to outrightly say, "We can't afford for you not to have children," because where's the biggest population? Africa. They've got the youngest population. Haven't they got God knows, I think it's 30 million people under the age of, I think it's 20 million people under 30 or something stupid like that. So where's everyone else going to have kids? Because China's stopped everyone having kids. The West ain't having no kids. So who's going to be looking after all the old people across the world? So you're going to have to do something. So the government's never going to outwardly say, look, we can't afford for you to keep on having abortions. But you're not going to provide women with the support to help to actually have a child grow up in a healthy and safe environment.
You also have to understand that the mentality that currently exists in the West is a boys' club mentality, which is ultimately, as you said before, and Kay said earlier on as well, it's men who have never been women, and it's men who have never experienced a period or the ways of a woman or your DNA and ECT and the rest. So it's not gonna translate well moving forward. The issue
can be now.
The issue you also, of course, because of trans people as well. But the issue you also have with this as well is even with that being the case, and there are a lot of women who are screaming for women's rights. There are some women who feel like, as we spoke before, but you shouldn't be able to have an abortion. You shouldn't do this. You should, and which is archaic views in itself. Because at the end of the day, you're not a harlot because you were raped. You know what I'm trying to say? At the end of the day, not everyone is. As much as you have the factor of people, apparently I think you should reproduce on the planet. That's not everyone's role on the planet. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's only because of society in the West where it's okay, we have to do this, we have to get a job, we have to, do you know what I mean? Some people are just happy to live off the land, like what Native Americans did and what other tribes did across the world. You know what I'm trying to say? It's only with times and technology where people are just we'll separate from that, and the minerals from the land now becomes tablets and phones and do you know what I'm trying to say? With that process, because I didn't want the subject was always going to be a deep one, I just think it's bizarre. I think there's certain things that America does that I will never have an issue with. For example, one, if you have a child with someone, you pay for that child. As a dad, you pay for that child. Vice versa, if the male is the
unless you're Safari. Sorry,
he's paying for it.
He's not paying enough.
But that's
apparently
what is enough.
Apparently,
I'm being sarcastic.
What is enough?
As 50 Cent said, he paid over the price for his son. The mother of his first child, was moving mad. He took her to court, and then he took himself in court,
and he got
child support
and got it reduced.
Yeah, I think that's a very sticky one always.
What?
When it comes to the payment and how much
some people do it. Some people I don't know. I can't speak for anyone because I don't know no one that's done it as like
got
a
that
money
Kevin
bag
Hart
situation.
movement. Got that Kevin Hart finger and you broke bitch.
No, but I think but you have to admit the number one way women acquire wealth
is through men.
It's through marriage. That's the biggest way women acquire wealth is through marriage.
Marriage is a business.
It's not even a business, but the way that women acquire wealth.
You don't think marriage is business? You get tax rates to be married.
It's like 10%, bro.
It's still a business.
Regardless, I listen. When my mum and dad got married 30 years ago, I don't think my mum come off the plane and said, Kwame, are you going to give me tax break 20%? Mama, Bro, no one cares about that stuff. No one ain't getting married for a fucking tax break.
But you'd be surprised. Yeah, but okay, cool. So when you look
It
at
can be seen as
okay, cool.
business,
Certain
but it's not
families,
what it is.
certain families in arranged marriages, if one family has a business in transportation and another family has a in oil, and you come together, you're now making an empire off of two families coming together. It is a business. But even when you have a lot of people who do get married based on cultures or ECT, right? Yeah, you're married. You're putting two people together because it makes sense. No, but we're not talking about love because love's not enough to get married.
What?
Right? Yeah, it's still you're still putting together. It's business. Like I'm not saying I wouldn't want to ever get married, but it's also based on business. As in, like, don't get twisted. You're more likely to make your marriage work if you've invested money into it. Right, yeah. I don't know if they still do this. A lot of companies are more likely to hire certain men if they're settled and married. Yeah, because you're less likely to cause problems in the business. You're settled. Like, you're more likely to stay here for a longer time because you have a mortgage.
You could say that with a man who's got children. A man who's got children, he might be more settled. They're gonna. Does that? I don't.
No, some companies want that
But then it
family
goes both
structure.
ways
innit?
because then
Yeah,
it
isn't there a
could be
football team
somebody
that's
who
like
has
that, where a lot of the
children.
players have got families? Someone said it. Is it Liverpool?
Yeah.
Someone was explaining to me, like, oh,
It
Liverpool.
was me that said it.
Yeah, it was you that said
Half
it.
their
like,
squad, most of their squad.
Squad is-
Gabriel can
yeah.
hear me when I say this as well. Most of the Liverpool squad have asthma. Right, yeah, all have asthma.
Such a random.
No,
fact.
but no, it's not because they're on medication, which is weird. Their whole club, their whole squad has asthma. Most of the first team players are all settled and married with children, so it's a family environment. You're a family environment coming into a family. So even though your ability is important, the environment in which you're coming into is settled. So it's not a thing of okay, MB was outside in a club at 3 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but
Or was
I
outside.
get what- I
Was outside
understand
moving
what
like
you're
Grealish.
saying, but I don't think people now in.
You're lucky I said Grealish, not Ben Mendy.
If that was the case, then if that was the case, and people are looking at like, oh, okay, we're gonna hire men who are in families, then there would be more. There'd be way more support for paternity leave for
In
men
my company, there is.
than there is for like than there currently is.
Some companies.
Some companies have started doing it now.
Because you
started,
kind of because I get what you're saying, but I'm not in that situation.
But
so
some
it's
women don't go
difficult.
back to work after they give birth.
They don't.
So a lot of women don't. A lot of women don't go back to work after.
Yeah, because
they've
it's
given
too expensive for childcare.
No, but if you have both your parents while you're working, and for example, you're earning well, right?
Even
yeah,
with two partners, childcare is expensive.
and listen, I know this, but I'm saying some women don't go back to work. I'm just saying some women
mainly
don't go
because
back
of
to after.
childcare.
I'm agreeing with you, but I'm also saying even without that, even if they have money, some women are just happy to be like, you know what, I just want to stay at home now and look after my child.
Yeah, for the first few years, I want to know looking after my kid.
I'm gonna tell people to F off anyway, bruv.
I'm like, yo,
Speaking
I
of-
I get what you're saying. I don't personally think, like, I'm gonna ask my dad when I see him. I was like, Dad, I feel like to call him like Daddy. Do you think I should call my dad Daddy?
At your big age,
Yeah.
that's mad.
Oh damn.
What? Don't people call their like?
I didn't call my mum and dad stopped getting called mummy and daddy after the age of 5,
Daddy, like the dad, Daddy,
Call them
whatever.
pups. That's it.
bro. I used to call him that. I just don't call him.
Or I
that.
just call him by his first name. Or I just call him by his African name. His Ghanaian
the
name.
K name.
Kwame.
Yeah.
Kwame.
The League of K's.
Yeah.
The consortium of K's.
the
Sorry.
League of K, the K gentlemen.
the
Did anyone hear
consortium.
about the school ban on Afro textured hair?
No, they've lifted it.
Huh?
They lifted it
Yeah. But I thought that was mad. Why was it even banned in the first place?
because they didn't like. Okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, my brothers. Are you two okay?
There's something wrong with us.
So when my brother was in secondary school, obviously he's 21 now. Yeah, you weren't even allowed to have.
Sorry.
You weren't allowed to have level 1 hair because they thought he looked a bit off key. So you had to grow your hair out. You weren't allowed any style of individualistic hair. So like,
Lines and
Basically,
stuff
schools want you to remain
like that. Lines and
colonized.
patterns.
Yeah,
No
you,
patterns,
like,
whatever,
basically, you know,
whatever,
like when
yeah.
The
guys
school-
that do the little eyebrow, that little slit in there, but you couldn't have none of that shit.
It's basically reinforcing colonization in the
but
school
then
system.
in fairness, in my brother's school, there was also a white kid. It was in the news. He had like what do you call it? It was like low fade, level 1 hair, like not spiky, but it was like a side Mohican. He had to sit in seclusion. So it wasn't just based on just black kids. It was across the board. But then I argued, and it's not a fair argument. I said, why is it you can't show individualism in what you look like in your uniform, and that's a no. But kids who are transitioning and no longer want to be one thing, I don't think it's a fair equal. But you can't block one.
How did they manage to like jump ahead?
You've ignored one level of individualism where people are kind of showing their personality through their hair, which isn't saying anything crazy.
Yeah.
Like man's got an extra fade or whatever, but then
okay, they might not fully understand. But they'll be like, oh, why can they transition but I can't have a fade? And it's not equal, but some kids don't understand.
In Africa, in Ghana, when I don't know if this is still the case.
1 second.
You can be a boy. Like, do you know what I mean? That's what kids will do that these days.
Yeah, but in Ghana, in the schools in Ghana, and this might not still be the case because I haven't been there for like a couple of years now. But all the kids have to have, all the girls have to have a number one. Like everyone cuts their hair off to stop all this. Oh, you're gonna come to school with braids.
That's
so
crazy.
even in Ghana,
in Uganda, I think my ex told me this. In Uganda, the only time your hair got shaved off like that was when you was misbehaving.
Like
zinged off your whole hair.
No, their school like at school, all the girls like your hair got shaved off at school. So even though we're complaining about it here, back home, you all have to standardize because they know how much. Because really, when you think about it, if they're wearing the same uniform,
you blend in mold.
It's also that, but hair is also a precursor of wealth. Does that make sense? Same way uniform is, especially back home. Like if you can afford braids and certain hairstyles, like come on, look, if a young girl's got weave in her hair, that's not cheap.
Gabriel's like, what?
Gabriel's facial expressions was literally which I think is mirroring mine, because I was like, I mean, I'm not saying I don't get it, but me personally, I don't agree with that.
As I said, from the era of which I grew up in, and probably similar to Owen Mark, yeah, even though there's a little bit of an age gap, we're from the era of, listen, black boys and trims. Back in the day, if it weren't a high top, it was all level 1. You know what I'm talking about, innit? Yeah. Level 1 or 0.5, right, yeah, where all of us had the same dead trim. I said to my brother all the time, I laughed at the picture of him the other day when he was 6. I said, your trim is awful, right, yeah? Like, what kind of shit, bruv? They violated you, bruv. You got some big egghead, right? Yeah, I said, you're lucky the era now. All these kids, yeah.
But trim science is...
No. Yeah. Hair, barbers went through the hyperbolic time chamber because the trims now, little black spray paint, the little zing off man's corners and that.
The powder line up.
I see man get the corners, yeah, their corners done, yeah, and it rains and the corners just dripping. Yeah, look like Safari and that, bro.
Have you ever got the spray thing?
Never in life, bro.
Have you had it before?
No, never.
Listen,
I don't get it.
I could tell the day I'll have that coming. I'm like someone's best man or something, and man got to do so the pictures look better than cool. But no, I'm not doing that. My hairline is.
Do you know what?
My hairline is
it's
decent.
Not equivalent. That's like, I don't know if you feel the same way, but you know, you go to the nail shop.
No, it's not the same thing.
Like when she sprays your nails.
It's not the same thing.
No,
it's not the same thing.
No, it's not. But I hate
the same thing.
I feel like it ruins.
What a crap comparison.
Not even close.
What a crap comparison. She's on her edges. Then yeah, like.
No, I know it's not the same, but you don't get it because you don't get your nails done. But any girl,
man, them get their nails done, bro. Hella man get their hair done.
Spraying nothing on my nails.
I don't like when they use this. Obviously, finishing after whatever shit it is. Just use the cuticle oil and done. Otherwise, don't use it. No, you might be like, it's not in comparison, whatever. But
I wasn't gonna say shit.
Cause we're double negative.
Ooh.
My nail shop does everything by hand. They don't.
Same. I don't know what that's when you go to the high street, whatever.
Look how we're being elitist. That we don't go to the high street ones.
I don't know because they don't. No.
Oh, you know, you look at Black Darth Vader, bro. Take the hood off.
And you've got a hood.
It's just the comparison.
You got a hat on. You got a hat on.
It's the comparison. It's up there.
Kenny. It was high in the sky.
Hey, Kenny.
Black Kenny. That's hilarious.
Do you know that apparently cancer vaccination could be available from 2030?
Myth.
According to COVID vaccine scientists.
Myth.
COVID vaccine scientists.
Myth. Do you know why?
You know that's a myth.
Do you know why?
COVID.
You know why I think it's a myth?
Was that the punchline of the joke?
You know what's a myth? I got that. You see, if I had time and I knew you had that topic, yeah, I would have Googled the amount of money made from cancer research per year.
Bro, they make. Let's Google
They
this.
make bank. I feel like listen. They make
cancer
bank.
is a lucrative.
I had a conversation with someone the other day, yeah, and I said, yeah, selfishly, and I'll stand on my own stool and I said this. I'm happy because I remember when people asked me about vaccinations in my old workplace, yeah, and I was like, yeah, I've had my first one. Lied, right? Yeah. I'm happy that when they were pushing out media agendas, and every time you mentioned COVID, that stupid shit used to come on Instagram, I didn't get vaccinated. I'm so happy because even now,
I'm happy.
it's been proven that you told me for 2 years that I must protect other people. Who protected me for the last 31 years? But because it's a global pandemic, I must protect other people. Those people don't care about me.
Okay, wait.
Then it now tells you that it runs out in certain countries when you go. It's not even valid. It runs out. And you have to get it again. Nah.
You got to get a booster for the booster and the booster.
Do you know what I mean? For the rest of stop it.
Don't
I
worry.
said this. I went, there's not going to be one.
So cancer research in the UK is actually worth. In fact, it generated over £5 billion. It doesn't say last year.
That was last year. So
new research suggests that last year, cancer research investment generated over $5 billion in economic benefits to the UK. They supported over 9,000
to the UK. So this is UK only.
Yeah, and it generated 973 million in economic benefits. And cancer research raised a total of 668 million in 2021 to 2022.
So no billions, yeah.
But cancer research UK raised over 600
for a whole year
in a pandemic. In a pandemic,
they raised 86 million pound more than they did in the previous year.
But what have you?
And then you're telling me
lately?
you really think?
But
they earn so much money.
Their CEO for cancer research earns £240,000 a year.
Apparently.
No, this is what it says here. Because it's a charity, so they'd have to. Macmillan's CEO earns 170,000.
But if I'm on 250 bags a year, you think I care about what the thing is generating? I'm on 250 grand a year.
By then you've stopped even paying interest in what it's generating.
A year. Let me see what the man's house look like. They told me to let me know if he's still earning 250 grand. If his house is worth 250 grand a year.
No, houses.
Plural.
He's probably living in
probably don't even have his address on there for obvious reasons.
With a yacht in Florence.
Okay.
Does anyone want to add anything before we wrap
I
up?
got one quick question.
Go on, sir.
How long should a quickie last?
Fuck your question.
a quickie.
Why? Wow. Okay.
I don't wanna be loved. I just wanna be loved.
You come like Kenny.
How long does a Miguel song last for?
A quickie.
No bite marks, no scratches, and no hickeys.
You know what's jarring me? I really like this song, and Kadia's tone is so off. It's pissing me off.
Fuck off. That's what I think
Make it
about
like
5-10
minutes.
Yeah.
5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll take a quickie. Yeah.
That's longer than a round in boxing, boy.
Baby gone through.
5 minutes. 10 minutes is optimal.
5 minutes, I'd say that's a really quick quickie, but 10 minutes.
10 minutes max.
5 minutes is a quickie.
Yeah.
You can do it, put your back into it. You can do it, put your back into it.
That is sensitive town.
Sensitive town, been there.
What did you say? How long are you saying?
You can walk to sensitive town.
Wait, how long do you say?
Long
How long's a quickie for you?
Quickie, it's in the word.
It doesn't
Yeah,
take
but
long.
They're probably going to say about 5 minutes.
I'm not timing it. I'm just like, if I come, I come.
Or under 10, probably. I've never timed it, but I would say if I'm having
You snooze, you lose.
That's selfish.
Oi, controversial comment. Yeah, we'll put time on a quickie, but what put time on the times they need to be accountable.
Oh!
Or how long they can bounce on top.
No.
Yes,
Yes,
I can. Yes, I can bounce on top. Listen, I don't know.
First of all, time out. I don't care about what you do. I don't care what you do.
I'm
Your
not
partner.
talking about me though.
Okay, cool.
But please, what?
Sound like you are.
You know.
I'm not answering that second question.
I'm not even gonna wonder why you asked that quickie question.
She was about to. She was about to if one just said her.
Reece saved you there because you was about to say, not me. I can.
Who complained about your efforts or lack of? Is that why you're asking this question?
I didn't say there was
I like her.
I'm just asking.
I like the accountability thing. To the accountability. My was point. Yeah, she felt under pressure. She didn't want to answer the question. So what she tried to throw. She threw shade.
No.
Who told you about your problem?
No, because you're giving me the side.
Hey,
Kadia. Wait, Kadia, hold on. How do you feel if a guy says to you, babes, I really like you, but you need to be putting a bit more effort. You need to arch your back. Like, you need to be doing something else. What would you say to? So what would you say?
She got the minerals to manage that. Girls don't have the
What
mental.
would you
Who,
say?
me?
Girls don't have the
Wait.
mental.
What
You're
would you
mad.
say if a guy said, babes, I really like you,
You need
but...
to stop generalizing though. You
I don't
can't be
think
like,
girls have the middle
are-
to-
No, but I'm
I don't think.
asking you
I don't.
the question.
Most
I'm
girls
saying-
can't take constructive criticism, bro. I just don't think they're
You
good with
answer,
that.
but
I
I'm
just don't
saying
think women have the
tell
mental to
you.
handle that.
What would you do if a guy told you, like, babes, I really like you, but you need to put a bit more effort, you need to arch your back a bit more, you just need to be doing...
I'd
stuff.
have to take it on the chin. I can't get upset. I'd have to be like, raw.
I'd be embarrassed. My friends were
Even Gabriel's face was like,
Waffle.
No, because
come
I'm not.
on. You don't even
No,
have
but
to
put it this way. Put it
Come
this
on,
way.
son.
Am I really gonna be
Fuck out
like?
here with that bullshit.
No, you're lying.
Oi,
You're chatting shit. Shut up. No,
you got
'cause
one.
look
You got
stupid.
£1 for me. I want to go buy waffles from the shop.
No,
I'm not gonna lie. I would be
Waffle,
very
bruv.
offended.
I
I'd
would
like,
be offended,
waffle.
but I can't.
I'd be
mad at
offended.
it if that's what you're saying.
Nah,
I'd be
bro.
mad.
Your head would be hot.
Because I'm gonna
But
look more like
listen,
an
my
Most
head will be
people's
hot.
head would be hot.
I'm not
listen,
saying
listen,
my head
listen.
ain't gonna be hot,
Listen.
but she said, "What would I say if he asks?" Am I really gonna sit there and go, "What are you fucking talking about?" Like,
Bruv,
going
I
off
am.
like an idiot.
I would.
I'd have been like, I'd just.
I would blatantly
oh,
be
right.
like, yo, are you talking to
here's
me?
my thing. I think honestly,
like, raw.
honestly, anyone, man,
I'm not gonna sit
woman,
there and be like, "Yeah, babes,
I think,
believe you."
I think anyone, man,
No,
woman,
I've experienced it, so no.
it was sometimes sometimes you break it down in your head.
I wouldn't know,
You
'cause I
may
haven't experienced
you
that,
may
but-
say something straight away, and you may
Men would
not.
say. Men would say it to women. Men would never. You know the problem is, even if a man doesn't think you're doing what you're supposed to do, yeah, I think men are.
You can always tell though.
No, yeah, but
Not
telling.
always.
But
No, I'm
telling.
saying, yeah, you can.
But KDR,
Not
telling.
always, no.
Him telling you.
I think so.
No, okay, fair enough. But telling you, most men won't tell you if they care about
they
you.
won't.
If they care about you, they
ain't
won't
tell
say
you
nothing.
shit, 'cause
They
they're
want
gonna-
peace.
Listen,
but
bruv,
most
I'm a
girls
whole
do that.
I'll be
crybaby. You
honest,
tell
I'll be
me
honest.
anything, I'll start crying.
In my
That's the
younger
thing, I've
years,
got thick skin. I don't cry
in my
that
younger
easy,
years,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm a
Especially that.
crybaby.
In my
Don't
younger
tell me
years-
stuff that doesn't comply to what I want to go. I'll start crying.
Even if it's
you
something
told
that
me
I
I'm
don't
shit in
agree
bed,
with,
I'll
I'll
cry.
be like, oh, raw.
I remember in college, in uni, sorry. There's a
Nah,
girl
I'm
in uni.
taking that
There's a girl that I dealt with,
I
yeah,
look so
and she
confused,
said
like,
something
she's
to me
gonna
mad.
start crying.
She said something to me
eyes on
mad,
my man, I
yeah,
won't
which
cry
was
about it.
constructive criticism midway through
Yeah, I remember.
No,
the
so I've
act,
got
yeah.
thick skin.
I had to firm it.
I'll take
I
it
had to
honestly.
firm it. I can't just be like, oh, raw, is that how you're moving? And I put on my trousers. Brother, listen, in my head, I was like, either fix up or your market's going to be ruined because you're going to tell people that you weren't doing what you're supposed
This
to
is
do.
what I'm saying.
But
You really
no,
gonna get vexed at the person, though.
but you're missing what I'm saying here, yeah? For me, I'm set a certain way where constructive criticism is constructive criticism. I don't take it personal because ultimately, I play sports and people expect a certain level. Not going to be angry about that. Fine. Right, yeah? I'm saying regardless, I don't think most people, women included, are even afforded the option to even find out
Do not
because men
tell
are more likely to
me.
not tell you. Girls will tell you.
Tell me.
Girls will tell
don't want
you,
to be
I'm not
embarrassed.
liking what you're doing here.
Yeah.
I'm drying up. Then the men, even if men think it's mid, men ain't gonna tell you because men aren't trying to be scummy in the action. Women will tell you off rip.
I've
Let
had
me just have
I've
the
had mid, and
delusion.
I'm
wait,
like,
wait. Let me just have the delusion that I think I'm much better in
In
bed
the
than I am.
park, so.
No, for
Do you know what I
real.
mean? Yeah, I'm already
in the
there.
park, I
I'm already
mean.
there.
let me knock one out.
Like the views,
I'm
so
a-
I'm
I'm a-
gonna
Just
say.
let me have the delusion.
But
This
this-
I'm gonna
mate.
be this whole accountability thing. Okay, cool, that's great.
If
but
a
let's
man
be
did what
real.
women did, we could have
Okay,
been.
that's great.
That's
Say it
accountability. That's great.
If a man
But on this
came with that bin,
situation,
one second.
Yeah.
No, go on.
in this situation, I will literally have to raise my hand and say, "Look, please, quiet. I don't want to hear this side of the story.
the foolishness.
Just stop the foolishness and just let me know that I think I'm better in bed than I actually am. Because if you're gonna tell me, I'll feel embarrassed. And my friends would hot me up if I repeated. They'd say, "Bruv, this guy told me I was shit in bed. Are you okay?"
Well, all right, turn the tables around. Have you ever told a guy,
course you have.
look,
Of course you have.
you know that thing that you done? It wasn't
Don't do
wasn't
that.
really.
Don't
you
do
know.
that. It weren't tinging. Don't do it. Don't do it again.
Okay.
It was like your flex.
So
Don't do
sometimes
I
try
haven't-
and
wait,
try and
wait,
put
wait,
yourself
wait,
in
wait,
that
if that
in
makes
that.
sense.
Wait.
What's the proper? What's it? What's how far the accountability goes? Let's go. We'll wait.
Okay.
Me or her?
I would.
No, but you're acting
Wait,
like
wait.
You just said both of them.
No,
Okay.
you know.
Why you-
Have I
wait,
told a
one second,
guy-
Chrissy, 1 second. Why?
What
if-
now?
If you can be accountable, why are you reacting in a way like you know?
No,
Someone's
because I know that you're like,
you're
both
something,
or no.
something, and you're like, no,
She's
you're
guilty.
something,
She's
yeah.
guilty.
I'm really not.
Then why are you
guilty.
reacting like you're
I'm
guilty?
really not. But
Chris, sorry,
I was just like to respond. After, you know, I'm gonna say it after.
Chris.
Go on.
As you were saying,
Have I told a guy? Okay, so I can only think of the people I've had relationships with,
Y'all are
and then I would feel like we'd be able to have a conversation about our sex life for it to be open.
So yes or no, you've never told someone what you did there was below par. Fix
it
up.
was whip whack.
Maybe in a soft way.
Soft weight.
Yeah.
What's a soft
Oh,
weight?
never.
It's not like, my friend, what are you doing there? You don't want to.
her soft weight ain't a soft weight. Her
Yeah.
soft weight was like.
You'd be like, what's that?
Bruv, what are you doing there? It hurts. No, I'm joking.
No, the soft weight is just like the hand.
Mad patronising, like
That's the soft weight, just the hand adjustment.
Or
She's
done it.
No, wait.
I never said I haven't, though.
Oh,
And I'm pretty sure
it's
we've
either that
discussed this
or just
before.
turn around and stop.
What? Who stopped?
No, that's a bit much.
Somebody
I
was
wouldn't
doing
wanna.
that.
I wouldn't
Who's
want to
stopping?
undermine a man
You stopped.
in any way, shape, or form.
You
That's
just
why I
stopped
don't-
in mid
haven't.
button. You stopped.
You've had a woman stop.
Bruv, if someone
No.
stopped, I'd be like, get out. What
That's
is
rude.
going on?
I wouldn't expect that, and I wouldn't do that either. That
But do
is
you know what?
rude.
Tell a lie. I would stop.
Unless
You're not hearing me.
I
The
would
thing that
stop.
happened
I don't
was
think it's necessary.
I'll be like, I need to get some water.
wow.
And this has been episode 125 of Difficult Podcast. You can find this DSP on all your favorite DSPs. You can find Mark O's, Kadia's, and maybe Chrissy's
No one gave me a chance
information
to
in the
answer
description
completely.
below.
There's nothing to
You can
informate.
find O and Mark's websites to their photography and book
Babe,
business
I'm not doing
in the
accountable.
description below.
As long as you respect
I've
me,
been Real Talk Reese. To my right spin,
it's fine.
2 drinks.
to my left spin, next to him spin,
I don't.
Miss wants to and
across
can
for
hold
her
herself
spin,
accountable.
and we'll be back very, very, very shortly.
Girl.
Look after
my
yourself,
back.
love and guidance, and
Thank you for having
prayers.
Collarbone, but-
Prayers to the women in Iran who are being put in jail for protesting. Hopefully that situation can be sorted out in a
Thanks for having me,
Love
Reese
it.
and co.
love and guidance.
Thanks for coming
Peace.
on.
It
We
was
really enjoyed you.